This is the Reds POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Cincinnati Reds. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Good evening, Reds fans, and welcome to another edition of the Reds POSTCAST, brought to you by Locked On Reds and the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm Tim Daniel. I am a lifelong Reds fan, and I've been podcasting about this team for 5 years at publications such as Late Night Reds and The Riverfront. And I want to thank you all for spending some time with me this late night, early morning, as we unfortunately discuss the Cincinnati Reds taking a 10-5 loss in Game 1 of the National League Wildcard Series against the Los Angeles Dodgers. For those of you who are just checking us out for the first time, welcome. We are so glad to have you. Please be sure to hit that subscribe and notification button here on YouTube so you can not only get my show after every Reds game, hopefully there's more than just one after tomorrow, but you can get Jeff and Steve Monday through Friday on Locked On Reds as well. This episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Download the app today. Well, on today's show, I think this is a pretty easy place to start. The Dodgers are who we thought they were. We're going to get into that and their matchup with the Reds tonight. We're going to talk about Hunter Green, unfortunately struggling in his playoff debut, what that kind of means for moving forward and what the Reds have to go from there now. And then the big question, can they even it up? There's something I saw in this game that makes me think if the Reds can kind of, teeter with some approach, move some things around, I think they might be able to give a chance tomorrow for game 1, for game 2. All that and a whole lot more. And of course, for those of you who stayed up to hang out with me, I'm going to hear from you, our everydayers as well. Let's go ahead and get started, shall we?
This is what you'll be talking about.
Well, there's a reason the Los Angeles Dodgers are the defending world champs, right? There's a reason that they are the $400 million payroll team, right? This is a team that is really good up and down the lineup. And if you remember when Jeff and I talked on Sunday, one of the things I brought up was Mookie Betts really had a down year all year. I was really worried about Mookie Betts going into this series because it just felt like he was just due. He got on base 3 times tonight. That certainly hurts. And that's one of those games where you really kind of needed to find a way to get Mookie out because Shohei Ohtani also was incredible with 2 home runs tonight. And that's what the Dodgers do to you, right? Those top 3 guys being Ohtani, Betts, and Freeman. I mean, they had combined 6 hits tonight. So hard to win when you have to face those 3 guys. But with that in mind, I think it's important to note that you knew what this was, right? You knew what you were going against. And to quote the late, great Dennis Green, they are who we thought they were. These are the defending World Series champions. These are guys who have done this before. And you knew you had a battle in your hands. No one thought this was going to be easy, right? No one picked the Reds in the series for a reason. And today, you just saw the difference, not just in the talent on the field. And I don't want to be insulting to the Reds by any means. But you also just saw the difference in 2 teams that knew what it took to win in the postseason. Now, the Reds do have guys who have been here before, right? Gavin Lux has been here before. Austin Hayes, I think, has played in the playoffs before in his time in Baltimore. I don't have that in front of me. So on and so forth. But with that still in mind, these guys in the Dodgers, that's all they know. All they know is playing more than 162. So when they got to tonight, it seems like they were aggressive right away. They hit that approach immediately. They got to Hunter Green pretty quickly. We're talking about Hunter in segment 2. And they just knew how to put this game away. Great, the Reds made a little bit of a run at the end, but it was just too much, man. It was too much. That you're down 10-2 to the Dodgers. You're asking a whole lot of yourself, especially for a team that doesn't have the offense needed to kind of be able to put those runs in like the Reds have. But you know what? Every time we count this team out, they find a way, right? So maybe tomorrow they know backs against the wall, win or go home. Tomorrow means everything. Maybe they find a way to go out there and win this one tomorrow. And we'll get to that in the third segment as well, just what I think they could possibly do to kind of get to that point. But tip your hat to the Dodgers. They're great for a reason. I don't know. Normally when I watch these games and I watch the Reds play like this, I get really mad. And I'm just like, what the heck's going on? I didn't really feel that tonight. I kind of felt like, it's cool they made the playoffs. I'm glad they scored a run. They ended up putting 5 on the board. And I felt like it was just one of those things where it's like, look, like it's great that they made it here. I don't, I would love to say I thought they would beat the Dodgers. I didn't. But I don't think they're totally out of it. Now, there are some things I would change for tomorrow. But I still feel like there's something there where they might be able to put a little bit of a run together, and maybe they can take game 2. Maybe they can find a way, force a game 3, and make this interesting. But we shall see. And we'll kind of get to a few of those things here in a little bit as well. But one of the things that was just really disappointing tonight is I thought this moment would not be too big for Hunter Green. I really thought if anyone I could count on in this game was to show up, it would be him. I want to talk about Hunter starting more right after this. Playoff baseball time has me thinking, oh man, these Reds games, I got my pulling my hair out. I'm so stressed. I can't even believe it. They're in the playoffs. But thankfully, we have Nutrafol, the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand, trusted by over 1.5 million people. And now Nutrafol is the #1 official hair growth partner of Major League Baseball. You can feel great about it, what you're putting into your body, since Nutrafol hair growth supplements are backed by peer-reviewed studies and NSF content certified, the gold standard in third-party brands for a supplement. I love that Nutrafol is a simple add to your day, just 4 pills with a meal, no prescription needed. See thicker, stronger, faster-growing hair with less shedding in just 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code LOCKEDONMLB. Find out why Nutrafol is the best-selling hair growth supplement brand at Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code LOCKEDONMLB. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code LOCKEDONMLB. And also, if you're after you take your Nutrafol and you're laying in for the baseball game, you're getting all ready, it's time to go to our friends over at FanDuel. The NFL season this year, unless you're a Bengals fan, it's already gone. And FanDuel has an offer you don't want to miss. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet. Put down $5. And if it hits, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. I love how FanDuel gives me so many ways to play. I've built parlays, tried player props, and even followed the live lines during games. It makes watching football even more exciting when you've got a little something riding on the action. Don't put anything on any Bengals offensive player props. I am just telling you that. That's my unsolicited gambling advice. Whether you're a casual fan or love diving into the stats, FanDuel makes the game day experience so much better. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com to download the FanDuel app today and get started. So KC has a comment here I want to make sure I mention. This says the Dodgers are probably the worst of the end of the playoff teams for them to have to play. I think the Dodgers might be the worst matchup for the Reds in general to have to play. And I think today is a perfect example. The Reds scored 5 runs today. They scored the second most runs of anyone in the playoffs today. Think about that. Now, they did get doubled up, but the Red Sox won scoring 3 runs. The Cubs won scoring 3 runs. The Tigers won scoring 2 runs. So, yeah, a lot of that is drawing walks, but that's a part of it. But hey, I want to make sure I give a shout out to all of our everydayers who have been here with me throughout the season. Thank you all so much for spending some time with me. And if you also want to become an everydayer, you can subscribe to us here on YouTube or your podcast app of choice and hit that notification button so you always know when an episode pops up, whether it's me here on the Postcast or it's Jeff and Steve Monday through Friday on Locked On Reds as well. Let's get to the turning point tonight's game.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Turning point tonight easily had to be the third inning when the Dodgers got 2 big home runs, specifically Teoscar Hernandez hitting a 3-run shot that brings in Freddie Freeman and Max Muncy to give them a 4-0 lead, and Tommy Edman follows that up with his hope for this first run of the postseason, giving them the 5-0 lead. And those were both off of Hunter Green, and that was Hunter's last inning of the day. Now, obviously, you could see from jump, he wasn't himself. And I'm not going to sit here and listen to anyone talk bad about Hunter Green. Okay? I'm not. I have a hard time blaming somebody for their first start in the postseason ever against their hometown team and a team that in their career they've struggled against not being good. Now, he definitely needed to be better. And obviously we all know that. The Reds needed him to be his best self for them to have a chance to win the Dodgers. I went against the Dodgers, and he wasn't that. It sucks. It couldn't have popped up at a worse time. But I'm not going to sit here and just berate him. I think he knows enough that he wasn't good enough, and I think he knows enough that he put the team back in a hole that they had to try to dig themselves out of, and they tried to dig themselves out of it. I mean, it just didn't happen. But I didn't, and the control definitely seemed off. He spikes that first slider on the first at bat to Ohtani. And then he also has kind of like a couple more of those pitches there. The pitch comp thing after pitch one. We saw a couple pitch comp issues in baseball games today. It was just really fat. It was really, really kind of crazy to see. But for him, the 4 strikeouts, it felt like he was kind of getting his groove again there in the second inning. I thought he was about to kind of get back and settle in, and the third inning happened. And I don't blame Tito for pulling him there. It just kind of happens. And I feel like for him, if he had a chance to do that game over, I bet you he's better. I don't think he's going to get that opportunity because obviously now you got to win 2 and get ready to go to Philly next week. If you do, who knows? Anything's possible, like I said. But I feel like for him, just sucks that it happened when it did. I still have all the confidence in the world of him as a pitcher. I think the next time the Reds are in this situation when he's pitching game 1 in the playoffs, he's going to be significantly better. I hope we are having this conversation next year. And hopefully, a home game, maybe a bye. That'd be cool too. But just sucks that it had to be tonight, that he had to have that game. And I thought Scott Barlow did a really good job coming in and kind of cleaning up the mess, going and ending in 2/3, 4 strikeouts. Thought he was really good. I thought Graham Ashcraft was solid tonight. That was a total BS call on that hit by pitch on Rojas. That was dumb. That was so stupid. But Scott Barlow, Connor Phillips obviously struggled his first playoff game as well. And then, Brent Suter obviously probably had to eat more innings than he wanted to. So that's kind of how that goes. And we'll see how things happen there for the future. But you know what? It's not over till it's over, right? We didn't hear no bell. And one guy who really showed up that I was really impressed with today, Matt McClain.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Matt McClain with 2 hits, including the first hit of the game, ripping a double down the line. And then obviously getting another hit later on. And I thought I had a decent at bat, even though he struck out in the 9th inning there. But it felt like it was an at bat that could have gone either way. I for sure thought I probably would have called ball 4 there. I'm not gonna sit here and throw stuff and see what we got going on. But we shall see how things move forward for him. Hopefully he can build off it. So now we turn to tomorrow. And it is all or nothing now, right? This is literally all or nothing. This is win or go home. This is you have to have it or you don't have a season anymore. Game 164 is the end of it. It's nerve-wracking as a fan, right? But there are some things I saw tonight that I feel like can really give the Reds a little bit of a benefit. And particularly, I think everyone knows where I'm going with this. I'm not doing too good at the tease shop here. It's getting to the Dodgers bullpen. We saw it in the 8th inning, right? They score 3 runs. They're drawing walks. That bat by Ellie was awesome. Oh my God, that was such a great at bat by Ellie to draw that walk there. Just amazing takes he took. And then I know, Tyler Stevenson's working towards a good at bat. Then has a strikeout. It's probably ball 4 that he swung on. But you look at after Blake Snell got taken out, which Blake Snell was awesome. Vesely gets to a third of an inning gives up 2 runs. Enrique Hernandez doesn't record an out. And then Dreyer does get the 2 outs, and Blake Trinan does go out there and go through the 9th inning. But we kind of all have heard about it this whole offseason, this whole season, how the Dodgers bullpen is really hittable. If you can get to their bullpen, you can find a way. Now, that leads to the next question. How do you get to the bullpen? Well, tomorrow, the game plan looks like game 2 that the Dodgers are going to throw Yamamoto out on the field. And I understand the Yamamoto has been incredible. He's 12-8 with a 249, right? And his last 7 starts, he's 2-0 with a 153 in 47 innings. But walks have been an issue for him too of late. Actually, no, that's a lie. Sorry. His whip is a 0.72. But what I'm trying to get to, and what my point is I'm trying to make as I'm glancing through my notes, is that the Reds are a much better team against right-handed hit pitching first off. Tomorrow, Gavin Lux is probably going to be in the lineup. Tomorrow, Will Benson's probably going to be in the lineup. And I feel like those 2 guys could potentially get them the spark. Gavin Lux had a 9th inning hit tonight, obviously. Didn't end up meaning anything, but I feel like there's still a chance there. And now the other thing is the question of, do you pitch Zach Littell tomorrow? I don't think I do. I think I just, if I'm going down knowing I gave Andrew Abbott a chance to keep my season alive. That means I got to pitch Zach Littell game 3 in a do or die game. So be it. Tomorrow's do or die. And to even think about a game 3, I got to win tomorrow. So I absolutely hope that Terry Francona goes that route. I also hope Sal Stewart's in the lineup tomorrow. If they have a lineup with Lux, Benson, and Stewart, I'm going to feel significantly better. While I say that, if Terry Francona somehow comes across the Reds postcast, I know he won't, but if he somehow comes across the Reds postcast, keep Tyler Stevenson in the lineup tomorrow. Do not have Jose Trevino in the lineup. Don't do it. Give your team the best chance you possibly can to win tomorrow, because it is all or nothing. And that is what I'm just going to say. No more of this flipping catchers every other day. No, Tyler Stevenson plays tomorrow too. If you want to win this series, if you want to give yourself a chance to win tomorrow to keep your season alive, you need him in the lineup. And you saw tonight when he hit that RBI double that he ripped down the line, had an unbelievable swing, and we know how good he's been since he came back from the IL. Keep him in there. All right. Rant over. But I know a lot of people are coming in here and they're calling him dead. They're calling him done for. They're calling him cooked. How many times did I call them cooked and they found a way to stay alive? You can't kill them, right? They're going to test that theory tomorrow. And I'm willing to see if they have it in them. I really cannot wait to be here with you guys Thursday. I really can't. Because for some reason or another, my gut feeling says they're going to win tomorrow. But tonight, we have to sit here and sit with this loss and figure out how we roll with the punches. Because in game 1, the Reds do take the tough loss to the almighty LA Dodgers, 10-5. The Dodgers have 10 runs on 15 hits and no errors. The Reds have 5 runs on 7 hits and 1 error. Blake Snell gets the win. Hunter Green gets the loss. And now we turn forward to game 2 in a must-win game. And at the moment, Zach Littell is scheduled to start for the Reds. He is finishing the regular season with a 10-8 with a 3.81 ERA, and he is going against Yoshinobu Yamamoto, who is 12-8 with a 2.49 and has thrown 173 pitches and has 201 strikeouts. First pitch is at 9:08. Thank you, Chris. He's right. Chris says game 2 is actually tonight. You're right. It's 12:30 in the morning as I'm closing out the show. First pitch is at 9:08 Eastern tonight. Everyone, thank you so much for staying up with me. Believe until there's nothing to believe in anymore, guys. Let's see what they can do. Let's give them a chance to prove us again tomorrow. Go Redlegs. Let's win game 2. I want to see you guys on Thursday. And I know you guys want to see me on Thursday too. Let's find a way to make it happen.